But once you learn how to lead yourself, the next logical step is that you lead other people.
Sekon Prince is the best keynote I've ever seen.
He really encouraged me so much.
He has this ability of seeing in people what they don't see in themselves.
He was so confident. When he was coming to the stage, you could see like, wow, this is a lion.
Any actor that's going for a role, they do a case study. If I'm going to be a fry cook, I go to a restaurant and watch people that are fry cooks. If I'm going to be a mob boss, I go and, well, maybe not go to where the mob, but you take some notes as to what they do. Our children are watching us. What can they reference when they step into our shoes? I do what I do because I believe that people have truly yet to understand their purpose. Once you know who you are, nothing can stop you. But until you know who you are, anything can. So my goal is to really help people to understand their purpose and their calling. And oftentimes they have the answers themselves, but they're not asking the right questions. So I help people to get to that place to where they look at themselves, they step back and they see how they've been a help to those around them and what really drives them. And from that, they really understand the value of it. They learn to value their value and see what value their value brings. Because a lot of people, they have yet to do that. Until you know who you are, anything can stop you. But once you know who you are, nothing can stop you. I want you to understand that you are blessed. That you are blessed to be a blessing. That there is somebody looking up to you. They're looking at you. Don't ever forget that. Because if you ever do, you're going to leave them without a mind.
I've learned so much and I've experienced a lot of interactions with people.
The practical approach, like you can't just sit down there, you have to walk up to an opportunity. Sometimes you have to grab the opportunity. Sometimes you have to fight for the opportunity. There's so much life lessons.
I think from today onwards, I'll stretch out and reach to higher levels.
Hello everybody, how you doing today? This is Sekon Prince and I am super excited, super pumped to be able to bring you this 5th edition of our podcast, HEAL. HEAL is an acronym for Help, Elevate, and Learn. It's a guide for healing your inner child. And I definitely want to make sure that I take the time to actually put these on because I believe that we're all missing a critical part of our personality, and that's our inner child. You know, oftentimes people have behaviors that they're doing today, but they were planted when they were children. And they have yet to draw the connection between what happened with them as a child and how they're behaving today. So this podcast is really to just start the conversation. And I mean start the conversation, not to end it, but to start it. I definitely want to make it to where it is one of those things where people can really actually be comfortable with talking about their own mental health, the inner child wounds and hurts, even the traumas that they've experienced. That's what this particular podcast is all about. And I do want to mention that we do have a sponsor for this podcast. For those who checked us out last week, you know who our sponsor is. It's none other than BetterHelp. Check this out. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, you go to their site. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/SekonPrinceHeal. You answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who's had years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or your computer, via a phone call, a video chat, or messaging. However you feel most comfortable. It is the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours, so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you, all from the comfort of your own home. Visit BetterHelp.com/Saucony Prince Hill or choose Saucony Prince Hill during your sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Well, now you can understand why I am so excited, because we have this monumental company, BetterHelp, that's been a sponsor of this podcast. And I am super, super excited about that. Now, I know that I actually had a guest set up for today. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it, and you'll understand why. If you live in the United States, you'll know that we've had weather that's fluctuated from 80 degrees one day to 50 degrees the next. And that, with the change in weather and cold, hot, raining, pollen, stuff blooming, cause allergy issues. And I can understand, because believe me, this morning I woke up stuffy myself. But I knew that I had to come on today and actually give you this information, because, again, I believe a lot of people they are not drawing the connections between what happened to when they were a child and how it's affecting them today. So we are going to reschedule our guest, Miss D.E. Speaks. She's going to be on. I believe we're going to try to get her for next Friday. But so I still want to do this podcast because I do have some exciting news. Guess what's going to be available in 3 days? Guess what's going to be available in 3 days? That's right. The book is out and it is ready for it's not ready for purchase. It won't be available until the 31st. And believe it or not, when I did that, I didn't realize that was Easter. But to me, it's somewhat prophetic, because that day it's the day that Christians, we acknowledge the resurrection of Christ. And this book, I honestly believe, will help you to heal and actually raise up that portion of yourself that may have long been dormant. You know, we never realize how our past affects us until we start to step back and take a look and see how our behavior today was influenced by something that happened in the past. And so I am so excited to get this book. I mean, just to have this copy in my hand, and notice they put a not for resale on this, but I am super excited because I get a chance to actually put this in the hands of people that can hopefully help them look at themselves in a different light. You know, all of us, we have a hard time really examining ourselves and looking to see where it is we could do better. Most of the time, people don't want to get critiqued or have people to actually tell them, you know, those little things that they need to work on. So my thing is this: instead of having somebody else grade your paper, why don't you take the time to grade it yourself? Just take a step back and actually look and just question yourself. So why do I do what I do? I've shared this so many times. My personal development journey started when I was in college in Atlanta, and I really started to question why I acted the way I did. And I wanted to find out why. So I started my own journey of personal discovery. And that's what I want to encourage each and every one of you to do. Because to me, that's one of the best investments you can make, to truly understand yourself. And there are so many principles in cultures around the world, which in simple terms, it says know thyself. That means you have to take time to really understand who you are and what it is you do and why you do what you do. Again, it's not what you do, but it's why you do it. Yes, identifying what you do is one thing, but understanding why you do it, to me, that's where the power is. Because if you understand why, you can change the why. If it came from an inner child wound or trauma, you can actually work to have that part of you healed. And that's what this book is about. That's what this podcast is about. And again, like I said before, I really want this to be one of those things where we start the conversation. Now, I know last time I was on, I didn't have a chance to really get to any questions because I was too busy with our guest. But I'm actually learning how, wait a minute, I think we may have some comments or criticism, but comments tuned in right now. And I'm going to try to get to them in a minute. But listen, have you ever thought about how you can make yourself better? Have you ever thought about putting in the work to really just peeling back the onions on your behaviors, and not just in one particular area, but in so many facets of your life? We all have an opportunity to actually get to a better place and a better space. The only thing that's standing between us and the better version of ourselves is the work. And we just have to put in the work. We have to be willing to actually put in the work to see what it is we have to work on, what it is we have to do. And this book, in fact, I just want to just hit some of these chapters because this thing actually changed my life, because it really helped me to understand how we can look at ourselves in a different light. Chapter 1 is entitled, There's Somebody I Want You to Meet. And I've shared this before. In fact, when I was growing up, my mother would call me Coney. And Coney was the name she gave me. She didn't want to say my full name, Coney. She would just say Coney. So Coney is the name, in fact, that I gave my inner child. In the chapter 1, I actually introduce you to him. But I also give you an opportunity to introduce us to yours, to your inner child, that name that you were called when you were younger, that childlike representation of you. Sometimes it's a nickname. Sometimes it's a shortened version of your name. But whatever it is, it can represent our inner child. And most of the time, like I've said before, people will not even take the time to check on their inner child. Okay, I'm grown, I'm full grown. I don't have anything to do with that. I'm past that stage. I want to forget about it. But their behavior is reflective of the fact that they still have childhood trauma that they haven't dealt with. How many people do you know fall in that category, if not yourself? How many people that you know are still dealing with issues from years ago? Some of the people are dead and gone, and yet it's just as fresh as if it happened today. You have to take the time to put in the work to really address those. And again, I am an advocate for getting professional help, because some of the journeys and some of the stuff that we've gone through is traumatic. I mean, it's heart-wrenching. It's stuff that nightmares are made of. And so you don't want to walk through that by yourself. You want to get some help. And that's one of the reasons why I said, and I'm so thankful and grateful to BetterHelp for being a sponsor, because they have online therapists that can help you even from the comfort of your own home. So how many times have you realized that what you're doing now is a direct result of what it is you're facing or going through when you were a child? What are some of the things that have really just messed up relationships, messed up jobs, messed up business opportunities? What are some of the things that have caused you not to finish what you've started? Some of the things that caused you to work too hard at the wrong thing. What are those? And those are the things that I really think that we need to, again, take a minute in a non-threatening moment to look at and to understand why is this so important to me? Or why is this so hard for me? Why is this so challenging for me? What can I do to get to a better place and a better space in my own life? How can I heal from this hurt? And when I say healing, I know the book is entitled Help, Elevate, and Learn. You have to start with yourself. And then you can help somebody else. Like they say on the airplane, put the oxygen mask on yourself first, and then help somebody else. So I want all of us to get to a point to where we can actually openly and honestly, like my friend, like Wendell Graham says, keep it hot, honest, open, and transparent, where we can be hot about our inner child traumas. And again, if you don't feel comfortable with talking about them to a group or to someone that you know, get a therapist. Definitely have a trusted friend that you can share with. But you would be amazed at the life that's waiting on you once you get past that, or once you heal from that trauma. Not only can you live a better, more fulfilled life, but you too can help encourage somebody else to do the same. And that's one of the things I really want us to do, because it's not just about us getting free. I had the opportunity last year to speak at the Becoming a Better You conference. And one of the things I ended with is like, me being a better me, I can't do that without you, because it doesn't just stop with me. Me being free, me being able to live a fantastic life means nothing if I don't show somebody else how to do the same thing. I'm only serving myself in that case. But we understand that we have a lot to offer to everybody that we meet. The question is, are we doing it? Do we see that we are the aspirin in someone's headache? Do we understand that we can actually make a difference, even just being an example for somebody, of being able to actually live a drama-free, trouble-free life? And when I say trouble-free, I know we're all going to have stuff we go through. But how do we go through it? Somebody once said that a ship doesn't sink because of the water that goes through it. But if the water gets in it, that's when it sinks. You can go through something, but don't let something go through you. I'm going to say that again for those that are taking notes. You may go through something, but don't let something go through you. That means you have to guard your peace, your mind. You have to keep yourself in a place to where you can still function and be responsible even with what you're going through. You can show up even when you don't feel like it, even when you're hurt, but you don't allow it to stop you from doing what it is you're supposed to do. So even that healing aspect of it comes into play, because the only way we can truly show up is that we heal. I mean, we can show up wounded, but it shows. Can you imagine a volleyball player with a broken arm trying to play volleyball? I mean, what good would they be to the team? They would have to sit out for a while, let the arm heal, do some exercise, some rehab, get their strength back so they can rejoin the team. But a lot of us, we're out on the football field with a cast on our leg, trying to play the game. We haven't healed. And we wonder why we're not moving as fast. And we wonder why when people say certain things or do certain things, it hurt us. It's because of a childhood wound and a childhood trauma. Now, like I said, I don't want to be the only one with the information to share. That's why I've invited several therapists, and I have them line up. Unfortunately, my therapist today couldn't make it. But they are going to, again, put a framework around the information I've shared in this life-changing book. And I'm not just saying that because I wrote it. I'm saying it because it was given to me. God gave me this in order for me to be able to actually help somebody to understand that thing that you're doing. It's not just because of that's how you are. It's because of what happened to you. If we heal from that, then we can actually make a difference today. We can show somebody else how they can heal, how they can actually grow beyond their past, their hurts, their wounds. But if we never take the time to address it, if we never take the time to really get into why we do what we do, we're doomed to just keep circling that mountain, to repeat that problem over and over again, from one relationship to the next, from one job to the next, from one diet to the next. We need to make sure that we are putting in the work for us. And again, you can't just do it for somebody else. Because what happens if they're gone? What happens if they die? Or what happens if they leave? If you were doing it for them, then all of a sudden, hey, I don't have to do it anymore. I was doing it for them. They're gone. Do it for yourself. Because in doing it for yourself, you can definitely put yourself in a place to where you can live a better life. And you can show other people how to do the same. Well, listen, I'm not going to hold y'all too long. I know it, but wow, it's been 20 minutes already. But I wanted to take the time to let you know that the book, again, the book is going to be available for purchase on Amazon Sunday, March 31st. You can get your copy, and I'm telling you, it's a quick read. I even have areas in there, in fact, you can make notes. I have questions for you to ask. But there is a workbook coming, so don't forget about that. There's a workbook coming. But even in this book, and I need you to get your own copy. And I'm not just saying that again just to make more sales, but you're going to want to write in it because there are questions and there are exercises that really help you to get a better understanding of who you are. Like I've said before, I'm Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal. We're introducing you to yourself. And this book, it really helps introduce you to your younger self, to that person, that part of you that you've forgotten about. But there's still, every now and then, getting in the driver's seat and driving certain areas of your life. And you even wonder, why did I do that? Why did I respond like that? Why did I say that? Why did I act like that? It's because you gave the keys to your inner child. Like I've said before, never let your emotions drive. They're not covered on your insurance. And when we allow our inner child to take center stage, when we give them the keys and say, you drive the car, we have to deal with the fallout. I even talk about that in the book, because in chapter 5, no, actually it's chapter 6, it said the danger of unprocessed emotions. The danger of unprocessed emotions. We need to process the emotions. We need to get them all out. And I remember hearing somebody said, if you're going to cry, get the cry out. Get it all out. Just snot nose and everything. Just get it all out. So then you can start that process of healing. So many of us, especially men, I ain't going to cry. I'm gonna hold it in. And we wind up sick. Continue to be sick. It's like your body trying to get rid of poison and you keep swallowing it back. It's like, no, it's not helping you. Get it out. And there's a danger of unprocessed emotions because they lie dormant. They're there under the surface, just waiting to be triggered. I talk about that in the book too. So listen, if you haven't done so already, you can go to Amazon and you could the Kindle version is available now. The Kindle version is available right now. Let's see if I can, yep, let's see here. Trying to share my screen. Did I freeze up? Oh, great. Come on, man. This mouse is still. Let's see if we can get this done now. Is it there? Window. Don't you just love technology? All right, let me turn this off. Let me turn this off so you can see here. Let's turn the branding off. Okay, so as you can see, the Kindle version is already available, and it's on sale for $9.99. You definitely want to get to, I'm telling you, this book is definitely going to be life-changing, so you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. But yeah, you can get the Kindle. In fact, for those that prefer the digital version, you can download the Kindle version today. But for those that want the printed copy, for those that want the printed copy, you definitely want to make sure that you go Sunday and purchase it. And if you're in the Mobile area, or whenever you see me in my travels, if you have it and bring it to me, I would definitely autograph it for you. And I'm actually going to do a show. I'm going to do a podcast that has individuals who's read the book, because I really want to get your feedback. I want to get your insight, and I want you to share with me what it is that this book has taught you about yourself. Because again, if I'm not making a difference, if we're not making a difference, why are we doing this? If we're not passionate about it, why are we putting in the work? Why are we trying to change the world if it doesn't mean anything? And I know for me, when I come across people who are locked in their own prison, a prison of their own making, I just want them to be free. Just like I want you to be free. So listen, again, March 31st, which is Sunday, Resurrection Sunday. You can go on Amazon after you finish eating your dinner, fellowship, in fact, with your family. Go on Amazon and purchase a copy of this book. And once it gets in, read it. Don't just get it and put it on the shelf. Read it. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear from each and every one of you, because I believe I believe it's going to make a difference in your life. I believe it's going to change some people's lives. If I didn't, I wouldn't have put in all the work, all the time, all the hours. I wouldn't be doing this broadcast, this podcast. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't believe I was making a difference. And I believe that what I've been given to give to the world is needed. Like Dr. Miles Monroe said, the fruit isn't for the tree. I could have got all this information and just kept it to myself, but what good is that doing? My job is to serve somebody else, and that person is you. So again, hey, look, this is Saccone Prince of SacconePrince.com, where we make motivation personal, introducing you to yourself. And I want to also, again, thank our sponsors, none other than our good friends at BetterHelp, because they have sponsored this podcast. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, you go to their site. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/SacconePrinceHeal. You answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who's had years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or your computer, via a phone call, a video chat, or messaging. However you feel most comfortable, it is the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours, so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you, all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/SacconePrinceHeal or choose Saccone Prince Heal during your sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. So again, I want to thank you for tuning in. And for those that are watching the replay, please put your name and where you're watching from. And I really want, once you get the book, I really want to get some feedback, because I think it's amazing. But of course, hey, I wrote it with God's help, of course, but I want to see what your take is on it. So get the book, read it, give me a review, give me some feedback, inbox me, DM me, email me, whatever you have to do to tell me how this book has really helped you to see yourself in a better light. And listen, hopefully we'll be able to get DE Speaks next week. So she'll be here live and we'll be able to actually share with you some valuable information, because I know she was chomping at the bits, but these allergies, man, they don't play. And listen, we'll talk to you later. God bless. Bye. Well, my name is Saccone Prince of SacconePrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. I'm a motivational speaker, a trainer, and a coach. I'm also an author. I help people in the area of personal development and leadership development, because I believe that you can't lead others until you learn how to lead yourself. But once you learn how to lead yourself, the next logical step is that you lead other people.
Saccone Prince is the best keynote I've ever seen.
He really encouraged me so much.
He has this ability of seeing in people what they don't see in themselves.
He was so confident. When he was coming to the stage, you could see like, wow, this is a lion.
Any actor that's going for a role, they do a case study. If I'm going to be a fry cook, I go to a restaurant and watch people that are fry cooks. If I'm going to be a mob boss, I go and, well, maybe not go to with a mob, but you take some notes as to what they do. Our children are watching us. What can they reference when they step into our shoes? I do what I do because I believe that people have truly yet to understand their purpose. Once you know who you are, nothing can stop you. But until you know who you are, anything can. So my goal is to really help people to understand their purpose and their calling. And oftentimes they have the answers themselves, but they're not asking the right questions. So I help people to get to that place to where they look at themselves, they step back and they see how they've been a help to those around them and what really drives them. And from that, they really understand the value of it. They learn to value their value and see what value their value brings. Because a lot of people, they have yet to do that. Until you know who you are, anything can stop you. But once you know who you are, nothing can stop you. I want you to understand that you are blessed. That you are blessed to be a blessing. That there is somebody looking up to you. They're looking at you. Don't ever forget that. Because if you ever do, you're going to leave them without a mind.
I've learned so much, and I've experienced a lot of interactions with people.
The practical approach, like you can't just sit down there. You have to walk up to an opportunity. Sometimes you have to grab the opportunity. Sometimes you have to fight for the opportunity. There's so much life lessons.
I think from today onwards, I'll stretch out and reach to higher levels.